What's going on, Hokie Nation? Welcome to this week's Triumph Spotlight. Our guest today is senior middle blocker on the Virginia Tech volleyball team, the one and only Miss Cara Lewis. A Bowie, Maryland native, Cara Lewis spent 3 seasons at the University of Maryland before transferring to Virginia Tech as a massive piece to Marcy Byers' puzzle. She's an awesome player on the court, and she's even better on the mic. Cara Lewis coming up next on this week's Triumph Spotlight.
That was a great intro.
As always, today's Triumph Spotlight is brought to you by none other than Triumph NIL. The Triumph Digital Network is a fully integrated portal featuring individual channels for Cara Lewis and all of your favorite Hokie athletes. Visit triumphnil.com for exclusive engagement, merchandise, and content opportunities, as well as subscriptions. Once again, visit triumphnil.com. All right, let's introduce the set. Of course, Kyle Marshak. I'm Giovanni Heater, and across the way, senior middle blocker, Miss Cara Lewis. Cara, thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Can't complain.
Good.
How's your first couple days of classes going?
Oh man, it's been tough. You know, it's a little humid outside and a little hot. I made the mistake of putting lotion on yesterday and then walking to class, and I was just drenched when I got there. But other than that, class has been cool.
Definitely a little bit of a rookie move there.
Yeah.
Well, we want to hear about your journey, right? You were a stud at Maryland for 3 years before transferring here to Virginia Tech. Played a big role at Maryland. You know, you started all 20 matches as a sophomore, balled out as a junior as well with 53 kills and 39 blocks in 33 sets. Ultimately, you chose to take your talents elsewhere. What went into your decision to enter the transfer portal?
Real talk. Okay.
I mean,
it's always real talk here.
Yeah. I honestly didn't mesh well with the coaches at my old school. So, you know, I was looking for a more personal connection. And as soon as I entered the portal, probably 20 minutes later, I got a call from Coach Byers. You know, like, what's up? I'm like, who is this person? Like, nobody ever calls my phone, random person. And I was actually getting ready to go out that night. So they always talk about this. I was putting lashes on when she called me. And she's like, girl, stop doing your lashes and listen to what I have to say. I want you here at my school.
Was this a FaceTime?
Yes, it was a FaceTime call. So it was like even more personal. And I'm like, that's something I hadn't gotten the full 3 years at my first university. And I'm like, okay, like this seems cool. So once I visited the school, it was a little cold when I visited. I just felt like, you know, this is home. I know it's cliche to say, but like it really is.
Never gets old.
Yeah.
So did you continue to put the lashes on?
Yeah, I sure did. I was like, I don't, you know, first of all, I didn't know her at that time, but I was still being respectful, of course. But yeah.
You got to play it cool in that situation. You're like, look, I can't bite at the first free agency opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, I'm chilling. I'm gonna listen.
Well, you meshed well, obviously. I mean, in your first year in Blacksburg, 171 kills, 4th on the team in that, and then you led the team in block assists. So what about the program was right for you?
I feel like just the motives that the coaches have, they really care about their players and who we are as people, and they want us to build our own family within each other. They also let us do our own thing, kind of, you know, like they understand when our bodies are hurting and stuff, but if there's anything going on within the team, they want us to solve it ourselves. And I feel like that's something that's really important to have as a program, because you don't want players taking stuff to the coaches without like other players' consent, you know, so.
Well, Cara, the tables have turned a little bit here, right? You're now on the other side of the microphone. Of course, you have your own show, the Cara Lewis podcast with Triumph NIL. So what's it like to be on the other side of the mic this afternoon?
It's interesting to be interviewed and talk about myself, because I'm not a big person to do that. I like it, though, because, you know, I get to have conversations with you all and see what you guys want from me. So, yeah.
Well, you obviously, you're a natural at it, right? How did that come to be with Triumph?
Ooh, so I remember I was just chilling in my apartment, and Mitch had texted me one day and was like, hey, how do you feel about doing a podcast? And I was like, what do you mean do a podcast? Because me as a person, I'm not super talkative. And well, before I wasn't super talkative. Yeah. And I didn't like talking in front of people at all, or like, it was hard for me to have conversations. I was a pretty awkward kid. So they got me into it. And like the first one was a little shaky, but as I got more involved and learned like from my previous mistakes, it was easier from there.
Well, you've had some pretty cool guests on your show. Matter of fact, we just did a couple of different guys that were on your show earlier this year. So, you know, who was the most memorable to you and why?
Definitely, sorry, Feldarius and T-Soul.
Okay.
Because that, like, just the energy from all three of us was amazing. And it was just like a chill conversation. We were going back and forth, shooting shots. And T-Soul kind of took over the interview and was like, hey, like, what do you feel about this? And I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to interview you. So, you know, it was fun with them. That was like the best energy I've had in a podcast.
That's awesome. So just to be clear, your mom was not your favorite guest. You had her on for Mother's
crying
Day.
on my podcast.
Yeah, I listened to a little bit of it. It sounds like she was a huge part of the advancement of your career, like road trips and all that stuff. It sounds like she was great.
Yeah, she always has been like one of my main supporters. And I know my dad, if he hears this, he's going to get mad about this.
Oh, boy.
Because he always makes a joke. As soon as you get on TV, you're going to say, thanks, Mom, and not mention my name.
Oh, no.
So my dad was also there, too. So I just want to throw that out there.
Well, you know, we brought up a tough question earlier. We got another one for you, and we promise this is the last one. You know, last season didn't bring the results that you may have been looking for as a team, right? New year, new schedule in front of you, brand new team. What's different about Hokies volleyball in 2023?
Our energy. We have a great group. They're young, but it's a great group. Just the energy. I don't know how to explain it. I know the kids are real motivated to be in the gym. They're excited to learn new things. It's different from last year because we had a lot of older transfers, and, you know, at that point, a lot of transfers are tired. But these kids, they're just like excited to get on the court, and they're willing to do anything that they can to get on the court. So that pushes everybody else to get better.
The underclassmen, just overall, sophomores and freshmen, you guys have a pretty stacked class.
Yeah.
And you guys had a top 30 recruiting class last year. So how are those sophomores shaping up?
The sophomore, they've been doing well. There have been a few position changes, which is a little hard on some of them. But once they're working through it, and like I said, they're motivated and willing to do anything to get on the court. Them working through that has been helping them a lot.
Yeah. Who might not be, you know, on people's radar that's primed to really open some eyes and have a big season?
It's a tough one.
I know.
That is a very tough one. I gotta think.
You can say Cara Lewis.
I mean, probably.
already on the
That's true. That's true.
It sucks because we went to West Virginia and they were like just on me. I was like, dude, just let me hit. I'm trying to think. Probably Ava Francis. I feel like she's very underrated. She's our outside hitter. She has a heavy arm. She scores well, and a lot of people just don't realize that during the matches. But like at the end of the matches, she's hitting like 200. And we're like, how did that happen?
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, you guys brought in another good class. So out of those freshmen, who else stands out? 5 of them too.
Definitely Haley. I don't know why. Haley Pierce
There you
and
go.
Liv Angel. I never say her name because it's just weird to say Olivia. But those two are key pieces to this year's team.
Tell us a little bit about your academic journey. You know, we were doing our research. We saw something about orthodontics and some other different routes. And you told us once we got in the studio that you're taking a different path. So kind of break that down for us.
So while I was at Maryland, I started in sociology. And the goal is to get all the prereqs for dental school. So I started doing that at Maryland. Then I got here and my coach was like, no, you should do public health because that makes more sense. I had talked to my orthodontist and she said that don't major in any sciences because they overlook it when you apply to dental school. So that's why I chose sociology, because it was the easiest major for me to allow the prereqs to come in. So when I got here, we did public health and it wasn't really a good fit. So we went back to soc after that. Then I took my first bio class, and after that, the orthodontist dream was over. So yeah.
I remember biology in high school, and that was rough. So
I liked it in high school, but like AP bio, AP everything.
Yep.
But as soon as I got here, I was like,
college, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
That's why we study sports media and
We talk
analytics.
about sports for a living.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's a difficult living.
It is.
So what does Cara Lewis want to do off the court in the future then?
Ooh, well, now that I've done a little bit of it, I'd like to go into sports and broadcasting.
Ooh.
Yeah, you
I
know,
like that.
I know.
Okay.
A
We
big
got to get her
term.
in the studio.
Yeah,
right,
thank you. I
let's do it.
appreciate that. I love anything around sports and media as well, because with NIL, I've been having to film my own videos and edit them myself. And I feel like that's helped me a lot to learn about like what's trending. So just anything within media and management and sports. So yeah.
Very cool. Cara, I'm being dead serious. We might, I mean, you're a natural on the mic. We might have to have you on a couple of kickoff shows for football season here.
I appreciate that.
No doubt. How has this partnership with Triumph, helped you, and what has it meant to you?
It's meant everything to me. This past weekend, I did community service at the Ronald McDonald House of Hope or something. I don't know what it's actually called, but we were helping kids with terminal illnesses and their families, because that's what they do. They house kids with terminal illnesses and their families if they're not allowed to, if they don't have the funds to pay to stay near a hospital. I loved being a part of that because it helped me feel like I was part of something bigger than what I've been a part of before. And also Triumph has helped me blossom more. Like I said, I was really awkward back then and didn't like talking to people that much. And now I'm talking to you guys, and I don't even, I met you 10 minutes ago, and it's a chill conversation. That's something I could never do before this. So,
that's good. That's really cool that it feels like they really gave you a medium to grow socially, personality wise. So are there other avenues of NIL that you're looking to explore, and charity work and stuff like that too?
Yeah. When I have time, yes, of course.
You're busy guy, yeah.
It just all depends on what's given to me. I'm always open to do more charity events, because after that, I love it. I love putting smiles on people's faces. So yeah.
That's awesome.
This is your opportunity to plug any big restaurant or store in Blacksburg that you'd be I would love to represent them. Have the Cara Lewis burger or something.
Well,
that'd be pretty cool.
Dude.
Are we just talking Blacksburg, local stores?
It does not have to be local.
Okay.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Tropical smoothie, peanut butter cup.
Ooh.
Hear me out. Peanut butter cup, because it's chocolate and peanut butter. My hair is chocolate and peanut butter. The colors, right?
All right.
Dude.
I love Our Daily Bread. I always go there. And Ocean Samurai Sushi. I like going there too.
So the Cara Lewis cup.
Yes.
So tropical smoothie. You heard it here first.
Thank you.
It is on the table.
Thank you. I'm trying to push it, but
There we go. Oh, Cara, before we get into a little bit of a speed round here, I kind of want to ask you about this weekend. Big tournament coming up in Blacksburg. What's the mindset heading into this weekend as a team?
Definitely learn from our scrimmage from the past weekend. Like I said, we have a lot of younger people on the team, and our first time playing with each other, you could tell there was a lot of tenseness within everybody. So trying to work through those things, and we learn from our mistakes from the past. And going into this weekend, we just want to fix those mistakes and know that everything's not always going to be perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Speed round, Marshak?
I'm ready. You got first question?
You got first question.
All right. Speed round. You ready?
Okay.
Pre-game playlist.
Oh, okay. It's actually a gospel playlist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be that speedy. Break it down for us. Give us some details on this gospel playlist.
So I feel like last year I really got into my faith a lot more. And before games, I'd listen to gospel music just to calm me down a little bit. And I really feel in touch with God when I do that. So then it helps me go into a match, not too hyped up, but I know I'm protected, So I just go in the matches feeling relaxed, protected.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I find that so interesting because so many athletes say that they don't want to go in ready to run through a brick wall. Maybe the football players. The football players,
they're a different breed.
Yeah, they're usually listening to some hardcore stuff. But other than that, it's more of a relaxed and mellow out the heartbeat. I find that very interesting. All right. Are you a Cookout fan? And if so, what's your go-to Cookout order?
All right. I am a Cookout fan.
Just not when the line's super long at 2 a.m.?
That part. I'll get out my car instead of sitting in that line because I can't do it.
Fair.
But I get the double cheeseburger tray, right?
Okay.
With pickles, ketchup, mustard, and lettuce on it. And the little nuggets on the side and the Cajun fries.
Okay.
Eats every time.
So I want your opinion on this. Our producer today is Carter Hill. His order, when we pull up to the window, he goes, I'll have a big tray, 2 cheese quesadillas, please. And the side, please. 2 cheese quesadillas. And could I have an extra order of a pair of cheese quesadillas? I kid you not.
Cheese quesadillas. And then usually a milkshake as well. That's wild.
Carter's one of dairy.
Cheese. That's a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot of dairy.
He's a stud, though.
Yeah. I mean, I could have done that when I was younger, but now probably not.
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
So what's the go-to milkshake? Are you not a milkshake fan?
Cookies and cream.
Okay.
That's always the go-to.
Fair enough.
The Reese's peanut butter cup's pretty good.
Really? I'm scared to try it. I don't know.
It's
Well, you
good.
just talked about having a peanut butter smoothie.
I know, but it's different. It's a smoothie versus a milkshake.
So it's literally vanilla ice cream with crushed up Reese's peanut butter cup. You really can't go wrong.
Okay. I also OD'd on Reese's peanut butter cups when I was younger.
That is
so
a peculiar way to describe that.
no, I'm so serious, dude. I like ate 100 of them in one sitting, and after that I was like, I can't eat these anymore.
Okay, I need a real number. Did you actually sit down and eat 100 Reese's peanut butter cups? That's incredible.
I was at my grandmother's house, and you know how grandmothers are.
Yeah.
Like, I emptied the bowl, she kept filling it up, and I was like, I got to keep emptying it, you know?
It's like the trap with the cereal when you have your box and your milk and your bowl, and you just keep filling it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's endless.
It's that part.
Okay, favorite movie?
Ooh, I actually had to answer this question in class today.
Oh.
I feel like right now my basis is Moana because
Okay.
like I just love Disney movies and animated movies, but that movie is just so calming to me. And like the little scene where the water's spreading apart and like the Tafitis coming to her on fire and stuff. I just love it. I love that movie.
You can't go wrong with Pixar.
Yeah.
Kyle, what's your favorite movie?
Oh man, dude, I'm uneducated, man. Like I did not spend my childhood watching that much Pixar or Disney or anything. So I'll have to go the professional route. I'm a Moneyball guy.
Yeah, great film.
Yeah.
Great film. Mine's Goodfellas.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it? It's a good movie.
Wow.
I feel like I have to see the like the
You got it.
called? I don't know. It's not the album cover, but like the movie cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an Italian mob movie. And it's
yeah, that
fantastic.
sounds
That
amazing.
takes place in New York.
I'd probably like that too.
Yeah. All right. What are your feelings on beach volleyball? Because it's kind of become a major NCAA sport in a particular time of the year, and you seem to not like it by your facial expression.
I love watching it.
Okay.
But me as a middle blocker, we don't have all the fundamentals that are needed to play two-person volleyball. Also, jumping in sand is horrendous. Running in sand is horrendous. Sand in general is insane. But I just love watching this sport. Me playing personally probably would never happen.
Interesting.
So if you could play any other sport at VT, what would you play?
I'd probably high jump and track. I've never done it before, but I feel like I could do it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you think your max height is then?
What's the height? Like,
For female jumpers, they probably start around like the real elite ones are jumping like they're starting the 6 foot range,
okay, yeah.
That is
feel like
insanity.
which is ridiculous.
I could not.
That's
even.
just to be on the record. That is about a 1/4 inch taller than my actual height.
Yeah.
But if anyone asks, I'm 6 foot.
I don't know if
same.
I could
Yeah,
jump a foot. Like that's a lot of height.
That's true.
Like that's.
You can't jump over like a foot tall. Like
We're gonna have to test this theory
it out.
sometime.
you're gonna have to come back. Well,
I got you.
I'm surprised you didn't want to take T-Soul's spot now that she's gone.
Man, after my dad played basketball, this is why I stopped playing basketball. He was like, I'd rather have him as my dad than my coach. So me and basketball would not mix because I just wanted him to be my dad instead of coaching me.
can you dunk?
He thinks I can, but I've never tried it. I can grab the rim.
Okay.
Another theory we must test.
Yeah.
At some point.
We should have like a whole day of just jump classes, you know?
Yes.
We should.
Jump
Yeah.
testing, jump classes, yeah.
Dude, plyos are like, I heard athletes really like plyos right now because
Yeah.
it's like it really advances your ability as an athlete. Is that true?
does.
Do you do a lot of that for volleyball?
I did at my previous institution, but here we haven't done it as much. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite Virginia Tech athlete, and favorite's a tough word. Like, what Virginia Tech athlete have you gotten closest with outside of volleyball? Because I know the athletes are kind of a tight-knit community.
She's actually a transfer, and she just got here in the summer. Her name's Alana Rose on women's basketball.
Okay.
She's real cool. You know, Big Ten transfers got to stay together.
Yes.
So now we're in the ACC together, and I'm just showing her the ropes of everything about VT.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, so this is a really silly, quirky question. Are you ready for this?
I'm scared.
How do you want to be remembered at Virginia Tech?
I just want to be remembered as somebody who could help the community and put a positive outlook on people's lives. Like I said, I love putting smiles on people's faces and just being like that piece of joy that they needed to brighten up their day. Like, you never know what somebody's going through. So being that person to brighten up somebody's day and just help them smile, that's what I'd like to be.
That's sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cara, you're a natural. You made our day. So thanks so
you.
much for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me, y'all. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. Well, you can catch Hokies volleyball this weekend in Castle Coliseum. For Cara Lewis, for Kyle Marshak, I'm Giovanni Heater saying so long. We'll see you next time on Triumph Spotlight.
Bye.